Security awareness programs exist to shape secure behavior through repeatable, relevant learning, and they do so by influencing everyday decisions rather than testing technical mastery. Most security incidents are not caused by a lack of advanced expertise, but by ordinary actions taken under time pressure, ambiguity, or distraction. Awareness programs address that reality by reinforcing habits, cues, and expectations that guide behavior when people are not thinking about security explicitly. The goal is not to turn everyone into a security expert, but to make secure behavior the natural default. When awareness is treated as an ongoing program rather than a one-time event, it steadily reduces risk by improving how people recognize and respond to common situations. Before we continue, a quick note. This audio course is a companion to the CISSP books. The first book is about the exam and provides detailed information on how to pass it best. The second book is a Kindle-only ebook that contains 1,000 flashcards that can be used on your mobile device or Kindle. Check them both out at cyberauthor.me in the Bare Metal Study Guide series. Awareness differs from training in both scope and intent because awareness focuses on general habits and cues rather than job-specific skills. Awareness teaches people what to notice, what to avoid, and what to report, creating a shared baseline across the organization. It emphasizes recognition, such as spotting suspicious messages, understanding the importance of protecting credentials, and knowing where to go for help. Training, by contrast, assumes a defined role and builds capability to perform specific tasks correctly. Confusing awareness with training often leads to overloaded content that people skim rather than absorb. Keeping the distinction clear allows each effort to do its job effectively without diluting impact. Training targets job-specific skills for administrators, developers, and other privileged users because their actions carry disproportionate risk. Administrators need deep understanding of access control, configuration management, logging, and recovery procedures, since errors at that level can affect entire environments. Developers need training that integrates secure design, coding practices, and testing into their normal workflows rather than treating security as an afterthought. Privileged users, such as those with financial or operational authority, need training that emphasizes verification, approval discipline, and anomaly recognition. This role-focused approach ensures that training time is spent where it meaningfully reduces risk. When training is aligned to real responsibilities, it feels relevant rather than burdensome. Program goals should align with risk reduction, policy compliance, and incident prevention, providing a clear reason for continued investment. Risk reduction focuses on decreasing the likelihood and impact of common human-driven incidents, such as credential compromise or data mishandling. Policy compliance ensures that organizational expectations are understood and followed, reducing both security and legal exposure. Incident prevention does not imply eliminating all incidents, but reducing preventable ones and improving early detection through informed behavior. Clear goals help determine what content matters and how success should be measured. Without defined goals, awareness programs drift into generic messaging that feels disconnected from actual risk. Content typically covers areas like phishing, password handling, data protection, and reporting suspicious activity because these are frequent sources of exposure. Phishing awareness teaches people how to recognize social engineering tactics and how to respond safely without embarrassment or delay. Password and authentication content reinforces the importance of unique credentials, secure storage, and protection of multi-factor mechanisms. Data handling guidance helps people understand classification, sharing boundaries, and the risks of convenience-driven shortcuts. Reporting guidance ensures that people know how and when to raise concerns, which is essential for early intervention. Focusing on these core topics addresses high-frequency risk rather than rare edge cases. Delivery methods should include brief refreshers, onboarding modules, and periodic campaigns to maintain attention without overwhelming participants. Brief refreshers respect limited attention and reinforce key points just often enough to stay top of mind. Onboarding modules establish expectations early when habits are forming and access is being granted. Periodic campaigns can address seasonal risks or emerging threats, providing timely relevance that increases engagement. Variety in delivery prevents fatigue and helps messages reach people in different contexts. When delivery is thoughtful, awareness becomes part of normal organizational rhythm rather than an interruption. Role-based content matches responsibilities, access levels, and common error patterns, improving both relevance and retention. A finance user faces different risks than an engineer, and a one-size approach often fails to resonate with either. Matching content to role allows examples and scenarios to feel realistic rather than abstract. It also respects the fact that people are more attentive when they see how guidance applies directly to their work. Role-based approaches can still share core messages while adjusting emphasis and detail. This balance supports consistency without sacrificing effectiveness. Metrics are essential because they track participation, performance, reporting rates, and signals of behavior change over time. Participation metrics show coverage, ensuring that required audiences are reached. Performance metrics, such as assessment results or simulation outcomes, provide insight into understanding rather than mere attendance. Reporting rates can indicate whether people feel confident and supported when raising concerns. Behavior change signals, such as reduced incident frequency or faster reporting, are the most meaningful but also the hardest to measure. Metrics turn awareness from a compliance exercise into a risk management tool. Reinforcement keeps messages alive through reminders, leadership messaging, and timely guidance after incidents. Reminders can be subtle, reinforcing habits without becoming noise. Leadership messaging matters because it signals that secure behavior is valued and expected, not optional. Timely guidance after incidents or near misses connects learning to real events, making lessons concrete and memorable. Reinforcement also helps counteract complacency that builds when nothing seems to go wrong. When reinforcement is consistent, awareness becomes durable rather than episodic. Organizational culture strongly influences effectiveness because trust, clarity, and management support determine whether people engage honestly. In a culture of blame, people hide mistakes and avoid reporting, undermining the entire purpose of awareness. In a culture of trust, people ask questions, report concerns, and learn from errors. Clarity matters because mixed messages about priorities create confusion and disengagement. Management support reinforces that security expectations apply consistently across levels. Culture is not created by training alone, but awareness programs must align with and reinforce the culture leadership intends. Records play an important role by documenting completion, approved exceptions, and remediation requirements for non-compliance. Documentation provides evidence that training obligations were met and supports audits and investigations. It also helps identify gaps, such as individuals or roles that require follow-up. Exceptions should be documented carefully to ensure they are temporary and justified. Remediation requirements provide a structured path for addressing missed or failed training. Records ensure that awareness efforts are accountable and defensible. Program maintenance is necessary because threats evolve and business operations change, making static content quickly outdated. New attack techniques, technology shifts, and organizational changes all affect what people need to know. Regular review allows content to be refreshed, retired, or expanded based on current risk. Maintenance also incorporates lessons learned from incidents and metrics, improving relevance over time. Without maintenance, awareness programs lose credibility and effectiveness. Treating maintenance as ongoing governance keeps learning aligned with reality. Integration with human resources supports onboarding, role changes, and disciplinary processes, strengthening consistency across the personnel lifecycle. Human resources systems often provide the triggers for assigning or updating training based on role and access changes. Integration ensures that expectations are communicated early and reinforced when responsibilities shift. It also supports fair enforcement by linking awareness requirements to documented personnel processes. When awareness is integrated with human resources, it becomes part of standard organizational practice rather than a separate initiative. This integration increases coverage and reduces administrative friction. In conclusion, security awareness and training reduce risk by improving everyday decisions rather than relying solely on technical controls. Awareness shapes habits and cues that guide behavior across the organization, while training builds deeper capability where access and responsibility demand it. Clear goals, relevant content, and thoughtful delivery keep programs focused on real risk reduction. Metrics, reinforcement, and cultural alignment ensure that learning translates into behavior change. Documentation, maintenance, and integration with personnel processes sustain effectiveness over time. When awareness and training are treated as core security functions, they strengthen the human layer that every other control depends on. Thanks for listening. For more audio courses, daily newsletters, and more, please visit baremetalcyber.com.